This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good afternoon, guys. Go ahead and get started here. It's 2 after 2. We'll get started with the regular meeting of the Central Texas Solid Waste Advisory Committee. Is there anybody that signed up or has an opportunity for public comment? No?
Probably online.
Nobody online? Okay. Then we'll move on to item 3, action item regarding approval of the June 6th meeting minutes. I'll entertain motion if anybody read through the minutes and approve. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second from Dwayne. So motion from Scott, a second from Dwayne. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is anybody online at all?
Yes, Tammy's online, Tay and Victor from Copperas Cove.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, item number 4 is discussion item regarding presentations from our FY25 grant applicants. And I think we're going to let the City of Hamilton go first. We need to go to another meeting.
Yes, sir.
Pretty quickly, so let you have the floor.
Okay, well, thank y'all very much for having us and for giving us the opportunity to present to you. And we do, typically Hamilton has done a household hazardous waste event about every 3 years because of the expense. And the last time we did one was in 2023, however, and so this will just be, this one is I don't know, did y'all have my PowerPoint? Or James, do you have that PowerPoint that I emailed, or did I?
No, I probably missed it, so
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We'll send it out after.
Okay, well, it's okay. So we're gonna try to do the same things we did in 2023, where we had clean earth, and then we have tires, we have electronics, and bulk trash and brush. And so we're still working on the grant for the electronics and the tires, and that's through the Leon Bosky RC&D is where we're working on that. That's what we did in 2023. So that's not really included in our amount, I guess. We're trying to put all the money we can towards clean earth so we can keep them there longer than we did last time. The last event we had was about, I don't know, 3 hours maybe tops, and we hope to keep the gates open longer this time, so we're requesting from the SWAC board $20,000. And we're trying to put in around $9,000 in the county this time. I don't know that we've had monetary assistance from them in the past, but we did ask soon enough this time, and we were able to get them to commit to $5,000. And so that's a little extra help for the event in Hamilton. But anyways, I don't know how much more detail y'all need, but I think that's about my presentations.
So just to clarify, the amount that was listed on the application for tires and electronics, y'all are trying to pull that off to the side.
We're trying to get that through Leon Bosky RC&D.
And
so that would be the Hamilton is committing to about $9,000, and then the county would be $5,000, so close to $34,000 total budget is what we're looking at now. That's a little more than what we probably presented in our application, but that's what we're trying to do. And then of course, with the electronics would be roughly $4,000 probably, and the tires would probably be anywhere from $3,500 for one trailer to 2 trailers, $7,000. I don't know what trailers cost nowadays, but I'm just guessing. So.
And then do we have how much they ran in your 2023 event?
What was
How much it cost to run the 2023 event?
It's 20, yeah, it was just under 20, I think.
We didn't spend as much on the.
But it also wasn't very, I remember that, we had to end it early because
Like at noon or something?
before noon, it was,
Before noon.
I mean, it was a really cold day too, but we probably turned away about 50 people.
So,
They
yeah,
hit their cap.
And what time of year did you state a date?
February, this one will be proposed at February 22nd, 2025. And Clean Earth was paid $20,316.77 in 2023.
Plus
Yeah, plus,
15, I think, from the SWAC.
well, y'all did, SWAC was, I think the grant was around 15 plus the interest of y'all's.
That's right,
And
yeah.
so it was like 17 something is what you awarded the city of Hamilton in 2023. And thank you again for that. So.
Any more discussion on City of Hamilton's? Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
thank you all for listening.
You're
Appreciate
dismissed.
it. Okay, appreciate it.
Just keep going down the list.
Want to just go down the list?
Yeah.
Okay. City of Copperas Cove,
Oh, yeah.
are they here?
Hey, Victor, are you online?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is there anything you want to say or present about your HHW event?
No, not this time. I'm actually not going to be participating this year. I'll be resubmitting for the next fiscal year. I had some issues with paperwork, and I won't be able to get everything done for the timeline. So I'll be resubmitting next year.
Okay. Thank you.
You could be first in next year.
Say again?
I said you could be first in next year.
I will. I have to make sure I get to city council this summer, the coming up summer before for August. I'll make sure I have all my ducks in order.
All right.
Let us know if you need any help or pointers. I've been in your shoes before.
I will definitely be reaching out again. I appreciate all the help too, James. I know you helped me out getting that paperwork ready. I thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sir.
You're welcome, Victor.
Yeah. We let Nola Bill want to go next?
Are you ready? Go for it.
Yeah, so the city of Nolanville, so we would like to do maybe a couple of recycling events. And then also, maybe get, something that shreds the tires to chop it up, something very similar to, the playground and things like that. That would be mulch, that we could use around the city, and also to educate, some of the citizens in the community on how we can recycle and keep those up.
Your recycling event, they're twice, was it 2 times a year or?
So we haven't had one yet, so,
Okay.
okay, so this last year's submission was an art piece. This would be for the upcoming.
Okay.
So we
I'm curious about the tire shredder. Do you know much about it?
yeah, we've been looking into it. It might be challenging, but just the type of tires and things that we take in. So, yeah.
So this was, you wanted to buy a tire shredder?
Yeah, we will,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, something to. Do you know anything about it, Paul?
Don't know much about tire shredders.
Okay.
I do know there are challenges that it only works with bias ply tires. Anything with steel belts and radios
Radios, yeah, the wire.
is not, cannot be utilized as far as with the shredder. Steel belts present that challenge for that shredder and severely reduce its lifespan.
Yeah, we had looked at some smaller scale ones, so it would have been for, I guess, probably like lawnmower tires and things of that nature.
Yes, sir. Yep.
It makes more sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Do we know what percentage of tires are still built? What's it?
By and large,
Most car tires are.
Most of them, right?
almost all passenger tires nowadays are still built to radius. There are a small percentage of, well, trailer tires, but even the truck tires, by and large, are still welded type equipped tires. Bi-splat tires, you have to really look for them nowadays to even find. Of course, we have online services that present challenges of themselves. You can find bi-splat tires easier with the availability of an online service.
Can you remind me of the amount requested? Do you have that?
I don't have it out there.
I could look it up.
29,500.
Yeah.
20,000 for a shredder.
Yeah.
So 9,500 for the recycling of those.
Yes, that's what we calculated.
Have you already received your quotes for the shredder?
No, we have not. It's just something we found it online.
Just online, looking, shopping around?
Yeah.
The only comment I have on the shredders is a couple of years ago, we went down this road and we were looking at the larger units that needed personnel. They needed to be trained, the safety liabilities. And that's when this group started discussing setting up some type of regional shredder to open it up for the surrounding counties. So the solid waste, advisory committee was looking at that, and I think about a year and a half ago. And it just didn't grab enough traction. But now the numbers are there showing us that the tires are becoming more and more of a major concern in the surrounding areas. So that is something that needs to be brought up probably more often. The only concern I would have is dedicating $20,000 for a small unit, and then you're gonna get bombarded with 10,000 tires. Who's gonna work it? How long is it gonna be operational? Where are you gonna set it up at? How's the traffic pattern gonna change? You're gonna probably get more negative results from your community than anybody else. So that's something to think about, is the logistics.
And also, sounds like getting tires that you can't take.
Yeah.
People handily dropping them off for you.
But I think the intent, if I remember reading it right, was to put it like at the museum,
Yeah, at our smart museum.
at the Smart Museum, and it to be like an educational piece.
Yeah.
Not necessarily we're taking our tires to shred,
Okay.
but to educate the public what we can do with tires. I think that was the intent of.
Yeah, so not as a daily drop off or something, but yeah, as kind of an exhibit, a working exhibit for the recycling program.
Yeah, so you could take the smaller, like lawnmower tires, stuff like that, shred that up, and then show what we could be doing
Yes.
responsibly.
Yeah, $200,000.
Yeah, right. If we had, I think it's more like 5 now, but it's like $500,000 to buy a huge tire shredder.
Yeah, and I would say this, and maybe I'll bring it up at the end of a future agenda item, but talk about what it would take for us as Cove to have one of these. And then when we go around to the different household hazardous waste days, we could have one.
Yeah.
And what kind of grants would be out there for us to do that? This is off topic, but maybe I'll bring that up at the end. We'll make it a future agenda item if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Talk about what could we do if we had one? That would be pretty neat.
Maybe when we get later in the agenda, we could talk about presentations. Maybe we need to reach out to somebody that sells those machines and get a presentation.
It would be great just to have them, and I don't know where we put it, but I'm sure we can figure it out, and it goes around, it goes around everywhere. to these things.
It would be something, and goes from experience with other equipment that's been shared in the past. The maintenance that's required would necessitate a crew be assigned with that machine so that it is protected, that it is maintained, that it's serviced, and that it reaches its lifespan, so it lasts as long as possible, so it can serve as many people as possible. Because, I mean, with a piece of equipment this shared, if it's not maintained, and this is no fault, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody.
That's all
But
we
it
would
is-
be doing though.
Yeah, we would need qualified, trained personnel that would need to work and move with that piece of equipment.
Not to mention the hauling. We shred it, we build mountains of shredded pieces.
You don't have to have a place to go.
They gotta go somewhere.
Yep.
So they're gonna need someone to haul that out. So we gotta contain it, hold it, until someone can go haul that out. Now you're looking at a yearly contracts.
Yeah.
Someone to manage those contracts. So it's a lot of logistics. It's still, I think we're a little bit off on maybe, a couple years. But we gotta start planning for it now, because 3 to 5 years, we're still gonna get bombarded with tires.
The tire question, that's the ever-present tire question.
Yeah,
We've been talking about for years.
Yeah.
See if we could figure it out.
Yeah.
Somebody is
Yeah.
going to make a lot of money
Yeah.
when they come up with the use for these tires.
Yeah.
Like one of those little laser things. Vaporizers.
All right, well, any more comments on dollar bills?
What is the dates of your proposed
Thank you.
household benefits waste events?
August 25 was in the
Okay.
So.
application.
Got it. Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you. We'll try to get back on the list here so I can keep up. City of Killeen.
All right. City of Killeen is committed to protecting the environment and ensuring the safety and well-being of its residents. In line with this commitment, the city regularly hosts hazardous household waste collection events. These events provide residents with a safe and convenient way to dispose of hazardous materials such as paint, batteries, chemicals, and electronics, which shouldn't be thrown away with regular waste due to their potential to harm the environment and public health. To continue hosting these important events, Killeen has applied for a grant to help cover contractor expenses. The grant will support the city's efforts to maintain a high standard of environmental stewardship by offsetting the significant cost associated with hiring specialized contractors who handle the collection, transportation, and disposal of the waste. The popularity of HHW events in Killeen has grown steadily, reflecting the community's commitment to proper waste disposal. However, this increase in participation has also led to rising costs for the city. More waste means more resources are needed for safe handling and disposal. Proper disposal of hazardous waste requires specialized contractors who are trained and certified in handling potentially dangerous materials. These professionals ensure that waste is managed according to state and federal regulations, minimizing risk to public health and the environment. Hosting these events without financial assistance places a considerable strain on the city's budget. By securing grant funding, Killeen can continue to offer these vital services without diverting funds from other essential public services or raising taxes. Not included in the application, I put we will match 20,000. We're actually going to contribute up to 55,000. HHW events play a crucial role in preventing hazardous materials from ending up in landfills, waterways, or local ecosystems. This grant will help Killeen maintain its proactive approach to environmental conservation and public health by supporting the safe and efficient removal of these items.
Do they have any questions?
It's a big match. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll just add a note. I mean, they were the most recent event back in May, and it was the biggest one in the 5 years I've been here, quite a bit bigger than any previous one. So there is
President.
Lots of people who are Temple and Killeen regularly get hundreds of cars, and I think more will come if it will just keep growing, I think, so.
Amazing, nice time. Spring cleanup, not
We
hot.
dodged the weather this year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for the bad.
It was trying.
At same time, May again, is that?
Hopefully, yeah,
Okay.
beginning preferably.
Didn't rain on you last year?
Just a little drizzle.
Yeah.
Or as my youngest son calls it, the wetness.
The wetness, yeah. All right, City of Temple, I'll go ahead and kind of give my spiel. We're asking for $15,000 again this year, that we kind of show that that's kind of our sweet spot. As you all know, we get $50,000 from Waste Management as part of the agreement for our landfill. So they provide that for the citizens of Temple for the HHW event. And then we ask to open it up to the Cove for everybody else to join. And so that's why we asked for the $15,000 for ours. And it's a full event where we'll have clean earth there for all the hazardous chemicals, and oils and paints and all of that stuff. And we also do electronics, tires. It's actually pretty close to the drug take back day. So we have our police officers there taking drugs as well.
And batteries?
Batteries, thank you.
So you don't take little batteries?
We did, yeah.
Because it costs money at place I used to take.
Yeah, we pay to get rid of them, but we do, that's covered in the cost of it. But last year our event was actually, I think it was $82,000 what the total price tag was. And so we got $15,000 from the COG last year. Thank y'all for that. And so out of the $65,000 that we got from Waste Management and the COG, then City of Temple covered the rest. So almost $20,000 that the city put in for. And we had almost 700 cars last year, 600 and
650, I think.
yeah, 660, something like that. But, and looking forward to having that many again this year. We're already getting calls, so because it's coming up the fourth Saturday in October, October 28th, I believe. Happy to answer any questions from base guys.
Y'all take it, oil,
We did.
automotive fluids.
Yes, sir. October 26th. Okay. Okay. October 26th. All right, thank you all. Dwayne, Bell County Direct Tire.
My name is Dwayne Herrera. I'm one of the representatives here today for the Bell County Commissioners Court. We annually host a scrap tire event. All we do is tires. We open it up to the adjacent counties. We get 2 trailers, 52-foot trailers. We park them at the Bell County Expo, easy in, easy out. We have our own crews to work the event. We'll do all day Friday, 8 to 5, and then half a day on Saturday. And that's about as much as we can take as far as we fill up the tires usually by Friday afternoon. Both trailers are full. Each trailer holds about 1,000 to about 1,100, 1,150 passenger tires. We accept the larger tractor tires also. We only charge $2 for the regular size passenger tires. And I think we're charging like $5 to $7 for the bigger tractor tires. Pretty reasonable cost. They bring those in by the trailer loads. And that's a lot of labor. We do get some help from our guys in the yard. And then we'll get some community service workers out there Saturday morning to help stack the remainders. The last 2 years, we filled both of those trailers up by 1 o'clock. So you're talking about over 2,000 tires in about 4 or 5 hours. That's how fast and that's how much tires we're picking up from the surrounding counties, mostly from Bell County though. That doesn't stop the demand. People still come throughout the rest of the day. On Friday and Saturday morning, we put all the surplus tires to the side and we stack them. And then Saturday or Monday, whatever we don't get on Saturday, we stack them. And then Monday morning, those guys come into work. We'll send our trucks and our guys to go pick up those scrap tires and take them to our yard. We hold them in our yard. Then Reliable Tire will come as soon as they can, and they'll come and pick them up at our yard. And they charge us per tire at that time. We've been averaging between $20,000 to $25,000, depending on the load of how many tractor tires we receive each year. Last year was one of our most successful. I don't know if we broke, I think we broke the 25,000 total cost last year, somewhere around there. But we're starting to average between 23,000 to 25,000. Just in a matter of a day and a half. That's what it's costing us as a county to get rid of the tires. So it's a good event. The commissioners court are going to put on the event until they get tired of not doing it. But so far they've had a lot of positive results with the surrounding community. They like to go out there and get hands-on. They get to meet the people coming through the lines, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Labor, it's all labor intensive. This year, the judge decided to ask for the full amount, which we're calling the full amount is $20,000. Previously, we've asked for 6, we've asked for 8. I appreciate the SWAC giving us $8,000 last year. But on a $25,000 event that we're projecting, the county commissioners would like to get a little more support this year around. So we submitted 20. If we get 10, we'll be happy. If we get 8, we'll be happy. Just the judge decided to go for the big one this year. So in years past, we've given back the SWAC some money. I requested 6 years, 3 years ago. We got awarded $2,000, and the judge says, just send it back. That's not going to really do anything. That's kind of like dropping a bucket because the event is $20,000 on the average. So we gave that money back to the SWAC, and we dispersed it as we saw fit. The following year, we got $6,000, and then the following year, which was I think last year, we got $8,000 from the SWAC. So this year, we figured we'll go for the big one, and hopefully we'll get some more votes this time around. So we're optimistic. The judge told me to smile a lot. I said I'll do my best. But it's been a positive. It's a positive for us. So in the Bell County Expo, if you're not aware, it's a huge parking lot. It's very safe. I put up signs myself. The line comes in, it forks, we end up making 2 lines. We'll have 2 different crews. I'm trying to get you in and out as fast as I can. We'll have about 15 to 20 guys out there, and you just go through the parking lot. You can stay in your car or you pay for your tires. We unload you, and then you just keep driving off. And that's a steady stream for a day and a half.
Did you say how many tires you take in, including the weekend stuff?
I did. I might have did that on my application, but year round, we pick up tires off the side of the road. Our crews pick up that year round. I haven't pulled a 5-year projection, but the last time I checked, you're talking about over 10,000 tires in a year. Easily over 10,000. You're pushing probably even twice that much. And those are our crews going every single day, picking up scrap tires. We used to have a designated crew just to pick up illegal dumping stuff. Mattresses, refrigerators, couches, anything. So we have those crews designated for that. It was getting so bad, we designated half that crew just for tires with an empty trailer. Just drive around the county and pick up tires. That's what started this. That's what started this whole project of getting a scrap tire to take it off the road. So now a lot of ranchers, a lot of farmers, they appreciate that because they'll hold their tires on their ranch. They won't throw them in a ditch or on our bridges or underneath the culverts. They'll get them off the road, they'll hold them, and then they'll wait for our event. And now, because the word's been out for the last 4 or 5 years, the event is successful because of those guys. They're hanging on to that illegal dumping. They're not illegal dumping, they're hanging on to it, and they come see us once a year now. And they know it's going to be at the expo. And they're depending on us to make sure we get it done. So we're kind of proud of it. It's become more and more of an event every year. So that's all I got. Any questions I didn't cover? We're just doing tires. It's just a tire event. That's all we do.
And y'all charge per tire?
Yes.
Do you allow like so many free or anything like that, or is it just per tire? It's the $2?
It's per tire.
Okay.
We get the demographics is mixed. You'll have a little elderly lady come in with 1 tire, and we take care of her. And you have these farmers, they have tractors full of all their tires that they had in their ranch, and they clean up their yard, they clean up their sheds, and they'll come in with 80 tires at a time, different sizes. So usually we count them, and then our guys start separating them, and anything that I need to bring a bigger truck to help carry, we'll have the Bobcat. We'll have Bobcat to help us unload the bigger stuff. And so they're charging a little bit more for the tractors, of course. But it's a losing money. Like I told the judge, we're never going to make money until you charge them what Reliable Tire charges us. And for those bigger tires, they go by diameter. So some of those bigger tires are $25, and some of them are $72. But we're only charging the constituents, $7, I think. I think it's the most we've ever charged for one, $7 or $8. And they pay us cash or check on site. Yeah. It's a good system. I mean, we get rid of a lot of tires.
It's cheaper than picking them up off the suburbs.
It really is. If you consider the gas, the fuel, the equipment, the insurance covering the employees, all the benefits that the employees get, it's cheaper just to go ahead and just pay for it outright. Bring it to us, we'll dump it. Just bring it to us, get it to us. So.
That's at the Expo Center, is that what
Expo Center, and we are willing to move our dates. I always try to go for March. That's my #1 choice, but I've moved my dates around for other events. If somebody wants March, we'll try to get as somewhere in the middle. I don't want to be in February because of the weather, and then I don't want to be competing against Temple Clean that might be doing theirs, in May. So I've always picked March to stay away from the big boys and let them do their stuff. But we have doubled back one time, I think, 3 years ago. We had a big event in the same month as a tire recycle event. And we still got over 2,000 tires. So
I think that was close to it.
I think it was the city of Temple that year. Yeah, that year. Yeah, that was a good year too. So
are y'all gonna get an additional trailer instead?
We've talked about that, but right now we think two is holding us over so far. And I think it's the commissioner's court just being a little overly conservative because we got burned 1 year. We had a bad year 1 year where we didn't fill up both. And so I'm dealing with 5 bosses. Okay, I got the judge plus 4 commissioners that I'm having to answer to. And I got to get a unanimous vote on we're going to get 2 tires. It's like pulling teeth sometimes. So getting 2 tires, I worked 3 years on getting 2 tires because I had to justify why I needed to spend another $6,000. So, and I have to prove in the numbers. So I had that committee to convince, and now this committee trying to convince this committee also.
Easier there.
Oh, y'all way easier.
You need help filling it up, just call me.
Yeah. And that was one of my selling points. Like, hey guys, I promise you, I'll make one phone call, we'll fill up both of them.
Exactly.
I promise you, it's one phone call away.
Yeah.
Give me 2 trailers. I need 2 trailers. It's gonna fill. If it doesn't fill again, that's my fault. I'll make a phone call. I'll get them filled up. But it always works out. But you're right. I need to be thinking, maybe 3, maybe even 4, 4 loads. I think 4 is a little more ambitious. But, weather has a lot to do with that also. So we got to get a little lucky there. So far, 2 trailers holding us over, and then we, like I said, they hold about 1,100. So you're pushing about 2,300 tires. And last year we had somewhere around 2,600, so we had about 500 surplus, which is perfect. Two plus 500, that's not bad. I didn't have enough for a third trailer. So I'm looking at my numbers. So that's good. That's a good question. I'll talk to you guys all day. Y'all better stop me.
Yeah.
Any other questions? No? All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, last one, another, that's kind of a good segue, legal dumping for Bell County.
He really queued me up and he didn't even realize it. So, hi everybody, I'm a new face here. My name is Ashley Cantrell. I'm here on behalf of Kylie Brooks, our grant administrator, as well as some of the other team. They're all at the legislative update in Austin, so I got nominated. So here we are, guys. So we do have a PowerPoint for you guys to kind of take a look at that. Dwayne set me up wonderfully because really to get into this, we would like to stop illegal dumping at the beginning part. So illegal dumping is a growing problem in our rural areas, especially in the construction routes. Our road and bridge team right now spends several hours a week, all of our resources, because they're going out and they're picking up from these dump sites because it is a hazard, it is unsafe. We have to be able to keep it nice. We want people to live here. And a lot of you probably live here yourselves, or you want that for your own area. So we are looking to install high resolution cameras and signage at 48 illegal dump sites in Bell County. So we will collect pre and post installation data to identify the illegal dumping trends and really be able to show what we get to do with these cameras. So our requesting funding is $17,587. So that dump site map that you see there is going to be the identified 48 most common illegal dump sites throughout Bell County. Though many others exist, the highlighted image there is the most frequent, critical, and resource draining illegal dump sites. This was determined between our commissioners and our road and bridge team. So there you are going to see where those are split up into the 4 different precincts, and as well as the total number of cameras. Where you see that number does not coincide, 48 versus how much we are asking for, is because a couple of the sites are too big to be patrolled by just one camera, or the terrain doesn't allow for it. There's a bend, there's a hill, something like that, that may prevent one camera to really be able to see the area we're looking at. So this is our project timeline. So first we're going to do some data collection. We're going to get those cameras ordered. And we're hoping to have them installed by December by our road and bridge team. We're going to collect all of that information, and then maybe we need to modify the locations of where they're at, see where we've had some increase and decrease. Maybe it works so well that we have to move to a different site. That would be awesome. We're going to collect that again and then submit a final report and be able to do that. This will all be done by Kylie Brooks, and she is amazing if you've ever worked with her. So you will see there the funding request. The split up of that is to get the all loop trail cameras with batteries, and we're getting 52 of those, as well as no dumping signs with posts and a base. And we're going to get 20 of those for the $17,587 number. We have put on 2 possible other options. If we cannot get the first amount, we have a reduced amount at $15,000 for reducing that to that 48 cameras. So we're not going to be able to catch everything that we would like. And then the same thing, we're not going to be able to put up as many signs for that $15,000. And then the last one is for a $10,000 ask. We're going to reduce the cameras to 38, and we're not going to get any signs. We do currently have some signs, but they are obviously not working. This is a very, very large problem. We're really hoping to stop it at the source and be able to turn in these images to the Bell County Sheriff Department and get people where they need to be, which is a ticket, and really kind of start something that I think would help across the county for all of your events and not let them do anything crazy on these back roads.
Are these GPS enabled cameras?
So they are not GPS enabled, they are Bluetooth, and that's how we'll be able to get the photos through an app, if that's what
So
you're
if
asking.
they're stolen, how are you?
If they're stolen, I do not know the answer to that. I will be
We've had
happy.
that before. We've
to-
had cameras stolen.
Okay,
When somebody's figured out they've actually been reported, we've had those cameras stolen. They do make an apparatus that helps you secure that camera,
okay.
but it's a little more expensive. No, no, it actually, you attach it inside of a locked type box that contains that camera. It has to be basically,
Lock and key kind of thing.
yes, sir. But we've had them pried off of, we install cameras 12 feet in the air and had them stolen. We were trying to reduce illegal traffic across the bridge.
I can't confidently say that these ones aren't, like I said, I'm not the subject matter expert on this one. This is Kylie's, but I would be happy to ask that question and be able
Someone
to.
enabled or GPS enabled with locators so that you can actually track them down, and you may well find them at the bottom of a river or jumped off of a bridge somewhere in the lake.
Or dumped in the same spot.
Yeah.
But they're very resourceful. They spend as much time getting rid of their trash as they did stealing or disabling cameras. It would be a different story, I'm sure.
Do you remember how many crews were doing the surveillance or the quarterly review over in y'all's precinct?
It was me, myself, and I.
So I have a rebuttal for that question. You know, our road and bridge department are on the county roads every single day. And we average between 60, I'm sorry, that's slow. We're averaging right now between 75 up to 95 full-time employees. Okay? Those guys are on the roads every single day. They're not watching our camera, but we have our own designated sign crew to maintain our signs. And then you're looking at another 70 guys that are operating equipment on the side of the roads year round. And then you have another 30 to 40 guys in that supporting cast that are picking up illegal dumping anyways. So I think it's a great idea.
It is a good idea.
I think we have the numbers to support that we need it. She's already mapped out our target areas. And honestly, we have the crews that's going to be out there to kind of a deterrent. You know, we have a lot of new trucks. So we have the lights on all the time. So I think it's going to serve as a deterrent to steal our equipment.
Does the county have one camera yet? Have we tried?
Operational?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
No.
This will be a pilot program for the county as long as I've been with the county. And I've been with the county over 13 years now. So that's why I'm calling it a pilot program.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Are they gonna say that you don't have enough cameras for every spot? Is there a possibility of putting a camera somewhere, once it's kind of calmed down there, change it in, put it in another spot?
We can, and that's where Kylie talked about the different price points that we can do. We can get less, we can start in these areas. This was even small. I mean, you guys know, we hit the high points, and there's more than this. We know there's more than this. This is high point, so that's where that came from, this is dwindled down to get the big heavy points to get that many. And it's like, if we get less funding, we can do less, and then maybe we come back and we get more and we say, hey, Kylie is absolutely amazing at doing this data, and say, hey, look at how many people we caught last year. And this is the amazing thing we can do with them.
I wasn't trying to shoot down the program, or I was just trying to let you know about some challenges that we.
I think that's a great idea to have some kind of security feature on them.
Yes.
People are crazy.
Sometimes it seems like those signs attract dumping.
I don't know what comes first.
The sign will
Hey, this is a spot that.
That's been pretty.
Yeah, City of Temple, we do that. We put up a sign and then all of a sudden we go pick up trash.
I think sometimes dumping cattails and stuff in the areas where they try to back up to do the dumping, that's more of its turn. Not confessing to you that you, right? I'm not confessing to you.
I have something to add from Port Cobasso. So we've used cameras similar to that with natural resources, and we also have issues with illegal dumping on the Appalachian courses, you may not know. And so we've done it in the past, and initially, and we've done it for different things, poaching and all kinds of things that we have to surveil. But in the past, the idea, I mean, we've definitely a lot of troubleshooting, but initially we were thinking, okay, we'll just put them up in a high spot, hidden, they'll be fine. No, some way, somehow people see them and want to take them down, especially if they think that they've been recorded and that the data is stored on the device. A lot of the cameras that we had, they provided a live feed that where we would instantly receive the data in real time, and so we would already have them documented, and a lot of people don't know that. So we tried a few different things. And one thing that we tried in a few sites, we did signage that it stated, hey, there's surveillance and it's a live feed. And in other instances, we actually made the camera highly visible, like this is on purpose. On purpose, and that's what seemed to make that made a difference. It stopped people from dumping there, and it stopped people from, vandalizing or stealing the equipment. So that's just that.
I think that's a great idea. To put a sign, you are being recorded, and it's instantaneous. I mean, the shutter speed, she told me, she gave me like some stats, was like point something seconds or.
Yeah, just try to dump here.
Yeah, we already got you. As soon as you pulled up in the area, we had you.
Oh, we also, of course, we always put, government or federal property on it, and that seems to scare people.
Yes, unfortunately, not all of these areas will be, but like Dwayne said, is the good part about this is being Bell County, we do have the personnel to work this. On the front end side, we have our road and bridge team. On the back end, we have our sheriff's department to prosecute. So we can follow it all the way through from the beginning to the end.
So that would be a question when this was really new years ago. I was involved in Clinton County, and we found that across the state that what is key is to have the law enforcement willing to take it on, because you can get all the lists you want, but if they're too busy or don't see it as a priority, so that is really important. Y'all always
As well as the county attorney and the district attorney.
Yes, we're all in-house on
Because
this.
felony weight dumping is lower than one might anticipate. We're looking at about 600 pounds. And long story short, we ran into that issue with, y'all know about the abundance of looking for property in Hamilton County. There, I had a 24-foot sailboat dumped, which exceeded the felony weight, which the importance of having law enforcement on board with the prosecution aspect, they seemed unwilling to support my efforts to follow through with the prosecution. And the resolution of the matter was that, well, I had to have a record come out and haul the boat to a holding facility. We figured out who did it, figured out who owned the boat. Person was paid to haul it off that did not own the boat. That individual lived in another county. Long story short, law enforcement was unwilling to support our efforts. Be that as it may, the efforts that we put forth apparently had the desired effect. People know that we'll go after you, that we want to. Was not popular a real popular thing for me as far as that goes. But that being said, I think it's important that you do make an effort to get law enforcement on board and your county attorney and your district attorney. Let them know what your efforts are, what your intent is, and what your goals are. And if they don't see it as a significant issue, then this resources and the information that you put together might need to be shared with them ahead of time.
I'll add to, so keep talking about this. So with our efforts, we have a really great environmental outreach coordinator and a lot of support from our PR folks. So we were able to really intensely push messages, through a few different platforms, saying, hey, this is what's going on, and, this is the problem, and this is what we're doing about it. So it made people aware on a larger scale, and so with, people knowing in advance and kind of word of mouth and everything, I think that, I'm sure that it's hard to measure how that impacted the reduction in dumping and other illegal activities, but I think it's helpful.
Absolutely. With that note, because we do have a public information
Yes.
officer, so we have one that could put out information.
And doing the right thing, convincing people to do the right thing is habit forming, just like them choosing to go dump illegal when it becomes a habit. Once the enforcement effort is made, I think it will have the effect you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Anybody else have any discussion or questions? Thank you, Ashley. All right, next item is action item, discussion and action regarding the evaluation and selection of our grant applications.
Yeah, I'll just talk about the funding part because I think that's the most important. 72,617 is what we have. That's what was budgeted plus we didn't use the full budget amount for 24, so that additional carried over. There's also some earned interest that is carried over from 24 to 25. Right now it's just above 2,500, but there'll be some more for the month of August. So if you want to estimate 75,000, that's probably a good amount. And whatever that interest is, I think what we've done before in the past and have worked well is just allocate whatever interest is available to one project in addition to a set amount. I think that's a good way to go about it. There is, here's the, thank you. That's another part. I think this is in your packet too, but it's kind of small. This like historical funding for the different events or the different applicants, and then also the summary of scores. That SWAC score is average of all the scores we receive, and then the staff score is our recommendation. I will say that as we discussed last time, and Zoe mentioned, we don't have to, the scores are just for a tool for the SWAC to use. It's not you have to award the highest scoring ones. It's just to help out with deliberations because there is limited funds for all applications. That's all I have. I'll stop talking now.
Can you go back a couple of slides? I'm sorry. The total amount that was, so 130,000 is what all the applicants added up to. And we need to cut that down to 75,000.
I think that's 130, well, that's including Copperas Cove.
That included Copperas Cove.
And doesn't include Noblesville.
Oh, it does not include Noble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Copperas Cove was 33,000. So if you take out Copperas Cove, it's 97,587, and then 29,500 for Noblesville. 127.
Yeah,
127.87 is the total requested amount.
Just a quick question. The 72,000, that's been about the same forever, right?
Not forever.
I know years ago it was much higher.
Yeah.
In the 5 years I've been here, this is maybe the highest we've had, other than the COVID year when a lot of events were canceled and so we didn't have as much. When I started, the budget was at 60,000 a year.
Right.
We've been able to increase it to 70,000.
But it's been around since I've been here, around, it seems like that.
60, 70.
And then maybe another future agenda item. What do we do as a board to try to get that number up a little bit? Is that
Well, I think the challenge is that SIGCOG has expenses. There's money there, but SIGCOG staff and everything else drive down our costs of what we can spend on SWAC. So the way I understand it, it's staff expenses and everything else that we have gone up. Therefore, we, as a committee, we kind of suffer, basically.
I just wondered, is there any other grants out there that we can be looking at, try to get that up a little bit? But that's another agenda item, but just thoughts. It's kind of been seems like a stagger around that. And we're getting more and more requests in and different things. You know, it's always been about the hazardous waste, but we're getting cameras and shredders and stuff, and that's interesting.
It is interesting. It's exciting stuff that we need.
Cool.
It's a cycle, Paul, because in our early days, we did have a lot of money for both reasons, and we landed on household hazardous waste. There was so much impact because that was not available anywhere. And we used to do chippers. When I was with TCQ, it was chippers, chipper hauler truck. Everybody wanted chipper. And then we got into household hazardous waste opportunities, and that was so impactful to communities that we actually decided that's what we're going to do, because that's making the biggest difference. They can find another way to get a chipper. And so we've done that a long time. And so in the last 2 or 3 years, we've kind of said, okay, and really TCQ's been nudging us too. Like, are you sure you still want to do that? And our answer was usually, absolutely. But now cities are coming up, you know, they were starting to provide more of their own funding. And so the time seemed right 2 or 3 years, 4 years ago to say, okay, let's open it back up. And then we got really official. James helped us to come up with this application process where we could really evaluate. And then all the time, our money is going down a little more every time. So that's definitely a challenge. So the other thing I would say too, just because I've been around a long time with this, is that this group is a specific group that is formed in every COG to administer this grant. So there's other things we can talk about, but that is why we exist. And that has kind of been the focus because that's why we're here. But it doesn't, I don't know, maybe it does preclude us doing other things, but maybe not. And that's probably up to COG administration. But it is by law and rule, every COG will have a solid waste group, and their job is to administer.
Yeah.
That's a little history lesson.
I appreciate it.
I was here for something.
So to circle back, from the active applications we have, we need to cut $52,000 basically from that if we want to award everything. Or, you know, it's a big ask, big job we got to figure out how to shave that off. And do we try to go to every event? And I'm just saying this for discussion, just so we can think out loud. But do we try to have every event and move forward, or do we cut events and try to give full effect to some people and no effect to others? Or, you know, I'll leave it open on the floor. What do y'all think we need to do?
And James, remind me, I can't keep up. You know, we get money that's available each year. So sometimes in the old days, we would have to bump someone until next year. They would be at the top priority. Are we biennial? Are we in, out?
This is the second year,
Okay,
so
we have to spend everything.
we can just spend it all.
Okay, but that's not the problem.
I think we can spend it all.
But, so next year, the next year, for 2026 will be a new year, new money.
Correct.
In September, get it in September.
Correct.
Of 2025.
Of 2020. So next September, we get a new biennial, they get it 1 year at a time. So we get our new 1 year allotment next September.
And usually how much was that? Do you remember?
Well, it's half of whatever they give us for the biennial.
Oh.
Which that's been, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
We can get there.
Yeah. Tough decisions.
Well, I believe we should stay with the scoring. Top two scores were City of Killeen, City of Temple. I would propose to fund them the full amount, just because they are putting in so much of their own money. These are big events, covers a lot of people. And then I had the Bell County Scrap Tower event, which is popular. Put them down for 10,000. They felt they could make it with 10,000. Had Hamilton down for 10,000, and then Copperas Cove for 12,617. Used up all of the 72,617.
Copperas Cove pulled it.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they're gonna apply for next year's. The other thing I'll say about Hamilton, and I would have to check with Ryan, but if it's, they may not be able to do it for a reduced cost, or I don't know if you can speak to that.
I think they addressed a reduced cost in their application.
Did they?
That they'll take 15 for the same scope.
Okay.
Or 10 for a reduced scope.
And you presented 10, right, in your numbers for Hamilton?
Yes.
Go over it again, Mark.
55.
So Killeen, the full amount, 25,000. Temple, the full amount, 15,000. Bell County Scrap Tower, 10,000. Hamilton, 10,000. Now with Copperas Cove pulled out, there's 12,617 that we can put back in somewhere.
Plus interest.
At least Nolanville and Bell County cameras.
And, Ken, the city of Nolanville, this is my first application. We could pull ours because I don't think I have enough, information to apply for what we needed. So we're going to pull our applications.
And you can come back.
And I'll come back. I'll know better next year.
We'll have more talks about tires too.
Next year.
And then I might suggest doing Hamilton, since it's not much more, at what they will take for the same scope, which was 15. Because it will have been 2 years since they had an event. And
So
they're
that-
doing tires and electronics on their own.
So if we did Hamilton at 15,000, City of Clean at 25,000. Somebody write this down.
Yeah.
City of Temple, 15,000. Bell County scrap for 10,000. Does that equal 75,000? 65?
Do the cameras.
Yeah.
And then 10,000 for the cameras? Plus the interest?
You keep saying that word.
Well, including, I guess including, is that 65?
We were at 65 before I said,
If you do 10 for the illegal dumping, that's 75.
And that's about what we'll be at. It'll be a little bit more, because I don't know, the interest will be over that, but
Yeah.
we'll work out the numbers on our end.
no, I think we'll make it.
What was the comment about Hamilton? They might not be able to do it. With that full amount.
A reduced scope,
Yeah.
10,000.
So, well, no, 10, so what I have down on my notes, is 15, they will take 15, out of what the 20 they requested. Or they'll take 10, but reduce the scope of the event.
Yeah.
And they're contributing 8 or more for other type of for tires and components.
Yeah. That's 25? 25 for 20. So then we've got the 10,000 for the city.
Okay.
Plus interest.
Yeah, it would be 7,617 was interest.
Ashton, do you remember your 3 separate plans? You had one at 17, one was at
15 and 10.
10.
10 for less work, 15.
I honestly would like to, I feel more comfortable doing that just because it's a pilot program. And I'd love to see the data and maybe expand on it next year. I think that's my feelings on that. I love it because it's gonna help us all. But to Commissioner Wagner's point of theft and everything else, it's gonna happen. I think, you almost can't stop it. But
Constant teamwork. And I would say,
teamwork.
so I would say too, I mean, this was like when it was really new in Texas, in McLennan County, they hired a person, that was their job. And what really we think, because I was in enforcement at the time, made the difference, I was with the state, is the county started giving out, and this was a long time ago, $1,000 fines every time. $1,000, made the news, and people decided, you know what, it's not worth $1,000.
It's cheaper to pay, dispose of the property.
Yeah, so, I think that I would take that back as a message. It was fast. They found it, and then there was $1,000 fine. I think if there's long, or we'll have to at least assume there is some kind of legal repercussion, but it needs to be fast and significant. And that in itself will help be a deterrent, I suspect. What's back?
Absolutely. I think with the amount, whatever you guys choose to give with the smaller, deliverable, they're going to have to figure out which one of those 48 that was already narrowed down is that. And it's like, is it then too small of an impact? If we get 8 cameras and people don't really care because then they've got 700 other places to go, I don't know.
Yeah, it would need to be strategic, but again, you need to just catch a handful of them and do something about it. And then, then move them. Do it again. That could maybe work.
So you can report to Kylie that based on the latest interest, the amount would be 10,167, and a little bit higher than that once we get final interest numbers for August.
Okay.
Now, when we get that, we can send it over what the actual amount would be.
What are you thinking, James? 3,000? 2,000 additional?
No, not that much.
Not that much.
Maybe
1,500?
No, like, maybe a couple hundred, like,
Oh, okay.
it won't be more
Just
than a
one
couple
month.
hundred.
Yeah. More.
No, unfortunately not. Probably.
Yeah, if you have a count like that, let me know.
I was a little bit optimistic.
All right, let's get back on track. I know we're running
Can
time
you go
here.
over the proposed numbers one more time?
Sure. City of Hamilton, 15,000. City of Killeen, 25,000. City of Temple, 15,000. Bell County Scrap, 10,000. And Bell County Illegal Dumping, 10,100.
7,617 plus the interest, FY24 interest.
What's left in the coffers?
Yeah, which is currently 2,550, but we'll go up a little bit.
You entertain a motion?
Yes, sir, I was about to say that, thank you. I was getting there.
I make the motion that we award as stated.
All right, I have a motion from Scott. Do I have a second?
I second it.
I have a motion from Scott, a second from Zoe. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries as stated.
Hooray.
Good job, y'all. Thank y'all.
It's hard to give away money.
All right, discussion, action item regarding
This is just on the date,
event dates.
because
Okay,
I
I'm sorry.
forget
Yeah.
to do this, and I think this will be pretty quick, because October,
Yeah.
May, Hamilton's end of February, and then Dwayne mid-March.
You want to pick a date?
Sure, whatever's more beneficial.
Tyler, do you want to just give me a date in early May, and then, because I'll need to confirm with Clean Earth that they're available.
Want me to wait then?
You can give me a date in mid-March, that you want to give me a backup to that will work.
Somewhere in the middle, either the 14th or 21st.
Preference 14?
Yeah.
It's Hamilton, February 22nd.
I think February 22nd.
February 22nd for Hamilton.
For this year?
Yes, sir. 2025, yeah.
Okay.
And then,
Those scrappers. And Dwayne, I mean, y'all take care of it on your own, so I don't have to, it's more just about
Yeah,
getting a schedule together.
yeah, it's just a matter of picking a date and then putting it on the flyer, and then I can send it to you,
Okay.
send it out to everybody.
You want to do the first weekend again?
Yeah, we can do that. Or if they're not available, we can do the 26th of April or the 10th of May. Just have a few options.
That May 3 is on the first Saturday.
Yeah.
Temple's already locked in.
Temple's locked in the 26th. I'm submitting my paperwork tomorrow. 45 days or whatever.
Yeah.
TCD.
Okay. So October 26th, February 22nd, March 14 or 21, May 3, unless that doesn't work.
So it's an action item. Yeah, so can I entertain a motion for said dates?
So
Got a motion from Commissioner Wagner? Second from Paul.
So if this is, if something changes,
Well, you can, I'll put subject to change.
So we're proposing the dates based on the vendor's availability.
yes.
Tentative dates.
So
I'd forgotten before. The reason this is in here is because one time we did the whole thing and then like 2 months later, I was like, wait a second, we never said what the dates were and there was more conflict, so it's in here so I don't forget.
Okay,
It's
fair enough.
helpful for staff.
Proposed dates based on vendors' availability.
Yes.
Okay.
Moved and seconded.
Yeah, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Okay, motion carries forward. Item 7, discussion item regarding revisions to the grant guidelines and application template.
This item's in here because, well, this is the first time we've actually done the full process, and one of the requirements is a resolution of support. And I know I got a few people reaching out to me about that, and so I just wanted to see if that is like I don't want anything to be a burdensome, you don't want anything to be a burdensome requirement, so if there's another.
I can speak to that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard for me to get a resolution for council before we vote. If I'm asking for 15,000 and we land on 8, I could go ask the council to, I guess, take an item for them to allow me to apply for the grant, but then I have to do another resolution to do the action to actually receive the money. So it's cleaner if we do it all after we vote, after the application process, as a city standpoint, that I know what I'm asking for and I just take the council one time and they vote on it and we're done.
Yeah.
So that's my standpoint on it. This year I did get a letter from the mayor saying it's our intention to have a resolution but I couldn't tell them what was on the resolution yet because we didn't have this meeting.
Right.
So I'm in a similar position as far as getting a commissioner's court to create some type of resolution to give us even permission to apply. And then a resolution saying that I have the okay to submit the application, and then they have to select how much funds they want to request. I think that should be, it's too cumbersome. It's too much red tape for us, for me. So I think it'd be better to make whoever the city courts or the commissioner's court designated person, we're all here because we're designated by our city. We're already representing our city or the entity that we're already a part of. If you want a letter to double down on that, making us an appointee from the city or our departments, that should suffice in my recommendation, in my professional opinion, that should suffice. I was designated by the county judge, designated to be on the SWAC committee as a representative to Bell County, by the judge, signed, sealed, delivered. So having to go back to the committee to get a resolution for him, and they can only do it on a Monday, but if one guy is gone, he might have missed out on his opportunity to speak on it. It's just a lot of cumbersome when you're dealing with city council members or the commissioner's court. It's just a lot of redundancy. So that was, so we're all here representing our cities.
Yeah.
We're all designated to be here. So a simple letter from our boss should suffice, saying, hey, go vote for us, go fight, and go submit our grants. I can do everything except get a resolution. That's like pulling teeth, man. That's like asking for Christmas in July.
Like asking for $20,000.
That's like asking for $20,000.
Just smile.
Just smile. Smile more, Dwayne. So anyways, so that's in my professional opinion, I would like that to be updated as far as the resolution is concerned.
You're saying do away with resolution and do more like a letter of intent or something?
Some type of letter of intent or designation stating that Mr. Odell is representing the city of Killeen. And he goes up one level and he gets that signature and it's done. So everybody here feels comfortable that someone's sending him to represent the city of Killeen and he's official. We don't need him to go make a proposal to the city council on a Tuesday night and have to go up there and do all that for them to pass a resolution. So you got to make a motion, you got to get on the agenda the week before.
So I think,
2 weeks for my kids.
2 weeks for idiots.
I think the intent is just to be sure that it's at the highest level.
Correct.
So I mean, it's not that anybody thinks any less. I
Right.
think the idea is that we don't spend, as a group across the state, spend a lot of time discussing stuff when they could easily just go, oh, you know what, retention. Because they could still do that. So I think, if that's too hard, then we just say, we get to talk to everybody that's turned in an application. We can ask them about, and we talk to council, what did they say? And generally, I mean, it's happy to hear. They said they would give this much money. So I think we can be comfortable with
Yeah. The reason I was in there is because TCEQ provides us materials, and one of them is a resolution. So I'm gonna go double check that that's not a requirement on their end, because if it is, then we're sort of stuck.
that. Or we can asset fee change.
Like, for example,
And we would have support all over the state.
I think, in my opinion, I know y'all are here and I'm sure there's support, so it was just something that was added in because that was the template. But if we could change it even to a letter, and Dwayne, to what you were saying, I think the appointment to the SWAC is a little different than application for a grant, because those are separate, like, even though the SWAC is reviewing those, like appointment to the committee versus application for a grant, I see those as separate, and so I want to separate those as two separate letters, because we have letters of appointment for everyone on this, except for the ones that are voted.
Question.
Yeah.
So if I send the application a blank PDF to the county judge and tell him, hey, fill this out for me, sign it, it's a done deal. He don't need to submit a resolution for himself.
Who,
Is that correct?
who specifically is the department head of the division that you work for?
The county judge.
Okay, if you answer directly to the county judge, as a member of his department, if he chose to write you a letter, I would think, now, nobody in particular, and of course, we do all answer to somebody, right? Especially here at this division through TAC, or Cove, I'm sorry. But it would seem to me that your department head, a letter from him would be sufficient in your appointment, but.
Now, again, I think I take James's comment, because it's one thing to sit here, it's another to say that the county or city is committing, maybe tens of thousands of dollars toward a project we're fixing to vote on.
Or requesting money from the cost.
That's right.
That's really what it is.
It's an application.
But we're making that decision to give them money because they're already spending money, usually.
In the application, it stated the highest office or elected official. And that's what's catching us. That's what's catching the city rep, Justin, I think that's what's catching us.
Yeah, governing body.
Yeah, at the highest level, the governing body.
The president.
Yes, the president. But in order to do that, we have to be 1 week or 2 weeks ahead to submit a certain amount that we're going to request and put on a presentation to the committee to even get a resolution. Then come in here and, yeah.
Well, in my case.
But if TCEQ, if TCEQ makes us do it, we gotta do it. All I'm saying is, in my professional opinion.
It's cumbersome.
It's cumbersome and redundant.
And we'll look into it.
Yes.
In my case, we're having this meeting in August. I'm having my event in October.
Yeah.
For me to do it, I'd have to take the council and then I'd have to have another item, the next council meeting, to approve the funds. So we did the application resolution, and I did another resolution to approve the funds.
Yeah.
Just like bang, bang, like that. In Tyler's situation, he might have to do the resolution for the application in August, but then he's taking something in May to approve the funds that he's gonna get for the event. So it's for cities and county, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's a two-step process if we did that just for the application.
Yeah, okay.
It may be a lot more than that because the funding has to be budgeted for these events.
Right.
As far as matching funds and participation.
Yeah. I would vote that we get just a letter of intent, if we could do that. But,
If it's possible.
yeah.
Anything else from anybody who filled out application that was difficult or challenging or could be improved?
Okay.
So I just want to ask, since this is first time.
Sorry, I'm so passionate about that.
No, I understand. I get it. I get it. I'm not trying to be bureaucratic for bureaucracy's sake.
Okay, item number 8, discussion item regarding our HHW vendor contract.
So this was, the slide may have gotten, it's in your packet. Don't look at that slide. The slide got missed somehow. We have a contract, August contract with Cleaner. It was originally negotiated in 2020 when Cleaner was Stericycle. They have a provision in there that automatically renews it for 3-year periods indefinitely. And notice has to be provided 12 months prior to get out of that. As you all know, costs are very different now than they were pre-COVID when this was negotiated. Or that we had a call and got to see proposals. And so staff is recommending that we terminate the contract and do another call, request for proposals from qualified vendors. Not because we don't want to work with Cleaner anymore, because I think they've been great, but just to get an updated, hey, here's a budget, and I think from us, well, it already has, we've had to do an amendment where they gave us updated pricing. So I think it's in the best interest of everybody, and I think for us as the COG and in our sense, it would be helpful to have language that doesn't automatically renew this indefinitely, so that every so many years, this body can relook at and see if there's other vendors that have cheaper pricing. So we have to provide notice by January, end of January, and before we move ahead with that, I wanted to. Several of you use Cleaner. We use Cleaner, but several of you use their events and just see if there were any thoughts or if everyone was okay with that, going down that route. And it would mean that next fall we would have some materials for a request for proposals, and this body would review those requests and look at proposals and pricing and select Clean Earth again or another vendor that reaches out to us. That would be a year from now.
Have we had any other vendors reaching out at all?
No, I know last time, I think there was 1 or 2 others that did submit a proposal. Of course, this was before it was right before I started with SWAC.
I think we had 2 bidders the last time we did this, correct?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I know there's not that many out there.
You don't think we would lose ground?
No, I mean, I can, if that's a concern, so I did, earlier this year I reached out and they sent some updated pricing, and I know that we had one amendment to increase the pricing because it is increased.
And our contract's written that way where they can,
Yes.
based on.
And it would be again, but I was just wondering if we would lose ground with confidence, or if we don't have a goal, if we don't think it's going to be better pricing or better service or better something else, then is there a reason to cancel and maybe get them again?
In my opinion, the way the contract is right now, it's parts of it could be clearer. And if the actual document is with Stericycle, which they don't exist anymore.
Okay, now those are reasons.
So I think it's appropriate, and a good decision to get a clean proposal.
Okay, no, those are good examples.
I'm happy with Cleaner.
Yeah.
Use them every year. Service and the response, the cooperation of how we do things, you know.
You can tell them that.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we just clean some things up.
Yeah, and I think I've asked about like rewriting it, but I think it's cleaner to just end it. And given the last one was pre-COVID, post-COVID, it's very different than pre-COVID. It'll just be easier to do it that way.
So we have to give them 12 months writing or
Yes.
notice?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we'd have all this next fiscal year or calendar year
Yeah,
to get that,
yeah,
to prepare.
and we could knock that process out sometime next year before,
The next
you know,
year.
before, and just with the new contract would start January 2026, but we could have it set in place to kick in then before that. Before then.
Right.
Okay. Just a discussion item now, so.
Or do you want to go ahead and make a motion
We don't need a motion because it's
on y'all?
it's our
Okay.
contract, so it's more to give notice and if there was any concerns that.
Does anybody have any concerns for not doing that?
I think there's always a concern that prices go up.
Prices go up.
It is,
But that's the can't
Yeah.
take.
Some of our prices, you know, have more than double. If you go back to pre-COVID, and,
I can't.
you know, just the availability of products, limited availability spurred the increase in prices, and we haven't seen those prices reduced since, whether it be manufacturing has resumed or demand or the base price of the product. You know, crude is at one time was up over $90, $100 a gallon, and now we see it back down to $70 a gallon. But you go buy a 5-gallon bucket of hydraulic oil, and I promise you, you haven't seen a reduction in that price.
Okay, well, I think you got your direction.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, just.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all. Next item is another discussion item regarding future presentations and discussion topics.
I wrote down tire shredder earlier.
Okay.
I got that one.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one. There's some, there's actually a vendor in Austin that has reached out. Send me an email and I'll give you the contact information. They something like Crazy Tiger, something, shredder, yeah, it's something like that. It's the name of it. They make big shredding machines. So.
On tire subject, last time I think we had, I know Reliable Tires reached out to us about doing a presentation. I didn't invite them to this meeting because we have a full agenda, but maybe something in November, we could have a couple of presentations from some a tire focused meeting because we don't have much of a business to discuss, so.
Okay.
Yeah. If anyone has great ideas in the interim, have email, staff email, let me know. We're happy to reach out and schedule some stuff like that.
I might have something. I'm gonna get it real quick. I have a little kid to go pick up at.
Yeah.
Go middle school. I could do a presentation, about the compost facility on Fort Hood, just the operations and the costs that we're having to deal with contracting it out. If it's not something that we do in-house, and I would like to share that information with you guys and just what the processes are, how much tonnage we bring in, and the different types of waste that we manage and divert and, create compost with. We're pretty interested in trying to do an ICSA, like with another, with a neighboring community because the costs are so high. So I'd be interested in doing a presentation.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you. Item number 10, just staff update, James.
Yeah, just a couple things. Finally got everything going. Well, Norville, I think they've done all their stuff for their project. I need to go see the Smart Museum still.
I do too.
And check out the armadillo statue. Rockdale, I think they've also, I'm not sure if they've purchased it, but we had some delays with getting everything signed, so. Everything from FY24 has either been completed or is in progress. We're into reporting now. I've sent out a few emails about the Copperas Cove transfer station upgrade, and I don't know if Victor's still on and wants to say anything, but there were no pushback. I think
Great project.
yeah, the project is great. There is in your packet, we did provide a letter from St. Cove just saying, hey, you've coordinated with us. It's in line with our regional solid waste management plan goals. And I think that recycling center that they're proposing is really a positive thing. So if anyone does have more questions or comments, I'd be happy to share those or get you in touch with the consulting group that was doing anything. Is Victor still online?
Yes.
Victor, did you want to say anything?
I really don't have much to add to it, other than, yeah, we're looking to do the expansion over the next couple of years here. It's needed. It's very much needed. Right now, we're taking in way more than our facility can handle. But if anybody got any questions for me, I can try to answer what I can.
You go.
Yeah, looking forward to a good project.
All right, awesome.
And then just two other things. There's a conference at the end of this month, and Clean Earth actually sent that information over to me. I'm not sure what the acronym stands for, but there's a link in your packet. And then lastly, staff got a call from the Heart of Texas Goodwill, and they're interested in partnering with our HHW events, and I talked to them this week, and they take a whole bunch of stuff, but they're looking to just bring a trailer, and they take furniture, they take electronics, the only things they don't take are like the tube TVs, old TVs and mattresses, but anything else that they'll take. So we have their contact info, and I guess this is maybe for Tyler and for Hamilton. And I guess if you're interested too, Justin, we'll share that, and happy to have them in our planning for the 3 events that are happening. We can bring them in, and they're really interested in helping out and just having a trailer. And I know that y'all use a different electronics vendor, Justin, but
we do, but
can't help to have 2.
no, and if it saves costs, I would be.
That'd be interesting. So we, Keep Temple Beautiful worked with Goodwill years ago. They would bring a trailer and take electronics. So that's interesting, because if I recall, the idea was training or working on stuff.
Well, they can recycle it or resell it, so I think they're happy to take it for free because there's value.
Yeah, that's great.
Like flat screen TVs and computers and stuff, and any kind of appliances, I think, maybe not fridges, but.
Somebody brought a toaster.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Waited in line,
Yeah.
handed me a toaster.
Yeah.
That's the end of my staff update. Oh, actually, wait, that's not, I have one more thing.
Remember?
No, I think most of you got an email from David Lopez, but David's new planner here at the COG, and he is going to be taking over managing the SWAC. I'm not leaving, I'll still be here, but my role at the COG is shifting, and so I won't be as involved in the day-to-day, other than I'll be helping David out, and I'll still be at meetings in the future, but he's going to be taking my place over the next several meetings, so.
We trust you, James.
You'll be seeing emails from David.
No, we've got plenty from him. It's been good.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? last time we approved a change to the bylaws, those had to go to the executive committee of the COG since we're technically advisory for approval. That happened last month, and so I know with that, for Cavazos is actually a voting member, we're gonna get that. I need to check what the process is now, but we're going to get that out. And then there's some vacancies we have for another solid waste industry, because we doubled the 3 non-local government ones, we doubled those. So there is some vacancies if you know somebody who has interest. So if you know of anybody who's a citizen and would like to be on this committee, or I think a written email, and then we can vote them in.
Then hopefully we'll have some voting things next for that.
Yeah.
If we get
So,
applicants.
yeah, we'll work on that between now and November and hope to have some new members in November.
Is there anything we need to do as far as voting members for Port Cavazos, or does that just automatically happen?
I think it's by appointment. We'll just need something from your boss or.
Maybe Mr. Dosa or the Garrison.
Yeah.
Manager should be.
Yeah, I think that's all we would need.
Okay.
So we'll get that.
Okay, very good. Does anybody else have any comments or any discussion items they want to go over?
I have a question. I know we normally have these meetings early in the morning. Is this going to be a habit of having in the afternoon or?
No, we had double booked this morning, and so we had to move it. We're gonna work to not have that happen in the future, but this meeting especially, since I wanted to have it today so we could get the application selected and start that process, because it takes a little time and the fiscal year starts in September. So this is not supposed to be a regular thing.
Okay. I'm not complaining, I'm just asking.
All good.
Anybody have anything else? Okay. Next meeting, November 14th,
Yes.
set in stone at 9 o'clock or whatever.
At 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
We'll do that.
I start at 7.
What day is that?
It's a Thursday.
November 14th.
November 14th.
All right, well, it's 3:44, and we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.